Bueno, muchachos, hubo un nuevo récord de Minecraft de 7 minutos. El anterior creo que era de 7 minutos 42, que incluso lo vimos. Nada, que el chabón clavó eso, 7 con 42 minutos. Y ahora hay uno nuevo que casi hace un sub 7. O sea, casi llega a los 6 minutos. 6 minutos y algo, obviamente. 7 minutos 01 hizo el chabón. Yo creo que cada vez se hace más imposible todavía superar uno de estos récords. O sea, va a estar re complicado. A ver. Yo supongo que no pone... ¿Por qué se le pone el Minecraft así? Yo supongo... No, o sea, igual acá hay muchas cosas. Mirate el de Corey Way. A ver. Ah, ¿qué te explica?
Yo everyone, what's going on? Curry Way here, and today we're back for No Fear to Biz in one pace for this. Because you put are tinier and thinner, and what that does is by making it thinner, it's easier to find the chunk it's in. You saw for a split second there, he didn't see that big spike anymore. So he goes to the other chunk where this big spike is, and you can tell this is obviously where the buried treasure is by the stone. It's sticking to the ground. It's just there. Loots everything really, really nicely, except for a little bit of scuffness at the end, but really clean otherwise. And also gets a piece of flint from the gravel on top, which is huge, because instead of having to craft a pressure plate or something else that you wouldn't really use in the run, you just craft the pressure plate, which you're gonna, or you craft the flint and steel, which you're gonna use to light the portal and...
A ver, lo que yo estoy dándome cuenta acá, que lo primero que hizo fue encontrar un cofre marino utilizando los chunks. O sea, con los chunks puede darse cuenta si hay o no hay un cofre ahí. Entonces, tipo, lo pichea para saber, o sea, lo hace chiquitito al Minecraft para saber si hay o no hay un cofre. Después, con el F3G, se fija, o sea, dónde está exactamente, y encuentra el cofre y nada, y ahora sigue el speedrun. Acá encuentra el cofre.
So he goes to the other chunk where this big spike is, and you can tell this is obviously where the buried treasure is by the stone. It's sticking out of the ground.
Y habían 4 diamantes, hierro.
Really, really nicely, except for a little bit of scuffness at the end, but
sí, la verdad, bastante buen loot.
Also gets a piece of flint from the gravel on top, which is huge, because instead of having to craft a pressure plate or something else that you wouldn't really use in the run, you just
con la TNT,
you're gonna, or
claro,
you craft the flint and steel,
agarra madera
use to light the portal and other stuff in the run.
Y bloques.
So, really nice. Crafts everything that he needs. Sticks, boom. Shovel, pickaxe, axe, bucket,
todo
all this good stuff here.
Amigo.
Boom, boat, doors, and we're out.
Bien.
Drip is a very organized player, and you can tell, like, you saw him kind of organize his inventory when he was waiting for TNT. You can see him organize everything in this boat. Everything is perfectly in order.
¿Cómo se cambian las cosas del inventario sin abrir el inventario, amigo?
His inventory when he was waiting for TNT. You can see him organize everything in the...
Ah, mirá lo que hace. Buenísimo, amigo. Nunca me di cuenta. Tipo, pasaba la mano izquierda y después te lo volvés a pasar. ¿Cómo nunca me di cuenta de eso, boludo?
Everything is perfectly in order. You can tell he did not mess up a single thing there, which is wild to do. Lowers his render distance. Everything is perfect. Very organized.
Okay, ahora va a buscar un lava lake.
Wants everything to be perfect.
Va a buscar una cueva marina para poder hacer con la lava un portal al Nether rápido.
Really good mindset.
Ya tiene todo.
Remember,
para
he has flint and steel already, so doesn't need to do that. This portal is beautiful. This is a 2x1 portal. It's only 1 deep of lava, so you have to be a little bit funky, but no hesitation building this. Really,
yo estoy practicando esto en un mapa.
Confident in portal builds. Nails
el portal.
Way faster than I could ever even imagine doing something like that. That was really, really well done.
No, apareció al lado de un bastión.
Instantly loads in, has a bastion. Has to immediately go and bridge over.
See,
he was looking around
a la
F5 for a second. That was just looking for a fortress, because in a treasure bastion there's...
Imagínate que caes haciendo el fast bridge ahí, amigo. Te matás.
There's already a mob spawner, and we use the pie chart for that blue spike, that mob spawner spike, where we want that. We want that as the fortress, but the treasure already has a mob spawner. So you can't use the normal strat for finding a fortress.
Eso para tradear después con los piglins para sacar la enderpearl, supongo.
Unless you break the spawner. So he was looking around there to try and find the fortress without using that. Doesn't see it though, so we're going to do the normal treasure out here. Comes up, again, no hesitation. Has done this hundreds, if not thousands of times before. Really good pace. But
mirá, le va tirando el oro para que no le peguen.
Again, nothing like too crazy yet. This is all like, you're not going to get nerves or anything yet, especially a runner like Drip. This is not happening. So we're going to grab all the gold blocks. It's always the top 2 in the middle, the bottom left one in the middle, the top left, and the bottom right. Always going to be where the gold blocks spawn. On this left side one, you can also dig down.
Oye, acá lo que está explicando el chabón de inglés, que habla en inglés, es que está explicando dónde se encuentran específicamente los bloques de oro, básicamente. Tipo, le dice, ok, hay un bloque de oro acá, acá, acá. Porque los spawn de... Hay creo que 4 bastiones diferentes. Y entonces si te sabes la ruta de cada bastión, sabes en dónde están las cosas en cada uno de los bastiones.
Down to get another block. All these blocks have a 70% chance of being there. So pretty good luck on that side. Again, we're looking for the fort, Don't see it, that's okay. We still got some time. We still have some...
Ahí está buscando a ver si encuentra el Nerf Fort,
pero
no lo encuentra. Capaz podía llegar a ver un Nerf Fort.
Treasure you have to mine a lot. When you have either a gold pick or a diamond pick, it just makes it a lot faster than just with an iron pick.
Ahí ya había Underpells, ya le habían dropeado Underpells. Claro, amigo, tradeando así, sí o sí te dropean Underpells. ¿Cuántas le dieron? Mirá todas las Underpells.
And if I pause right about here, you should notice that there is...
No, mirá dónde tenía el Nether Fort. Ahí apenas terminaba ahí, ya tiene las Enderpells. Qué locura. O sea, ya está el Nether Fort, ya tiene las Enderpells. Y puede ir al Nether Fort con las Enderpells.
Sees the fortress. This is how he sees it. So he's gonna go to his right now, grab the rest of the obsidian that he needs. Sees it there. Great. Have trades, have everything. Knows I have pearls, knows I have string. We have everything we need.
Ok, tiene la obsidiana también para hacer el portal para volver.
Just wants 20 obsidian. That's really the only thing we're checking these chests for. We want 20 obsidian.
¿O para qué la obsidiana?
In No Fear's world record, they were able to go to their home portal because it was very close to the fortress. But this is not the case here. We are not close to a home portal.
Amigo, ¿cómo lo vio? Igual, ¿cómo vio el Nether Fort en un microsegundo?
So, we need 20 obsidian. We get it in the chest. Great. Now we're going to throw a pearl here, but wait. Oh, did you catch it? Did you? It's very light, but top runners will sprint jump to throw a pearl. I shouldn't say top runners. This is a pretty well-known thing. So think about momentum in Minecraft, right? Sprint jumping is faster than just sprinting. So sprinting and throwing a pearl is slower than sprint jumping and throwing a pearl.
Ok, acá dice que es más fácil saltar, o sea, vas a llegar más lejos saltando y corriendo, tirando la Enderpell, que solamente corriendo y tirar la Enderpell. El chabón acá, como error que cometió es solamente correr y tirar la Enderpell, ¿se entiende? Pero igual, tipo, es como cualquiera, o sea, está haciendo todo perfecto. O sea, es un error que le habrá sacado capaz un microsegundo.
But if you're a little bit like early or a little bit off your timing, your pearl doesn't go as far as you'd like. And that's what happens here. It's very, very, very subtle, but the pearl just does not go nearly as far as Drip wants here. And you'll see it adds to an interesting kind of just thing that happens here. So he's gonna think that the pearl is in lava. He's trying to land on the fort. That's why he's like this. He's trying to land on the fort, trying to block clutch on the fort, getting ready. But then it's like, wait, the pearl hasn't landed yet.
Claro.
So pivots to going in F5 and is looking up. And you're like, why would you go in F5 and look up if your pearl lands in the lava? Well, what it does is it lets you see the entire, like, surrounding. It basically gets rid of the lava overlay.
Okay. Ok, acá está diciendo que el chabón ya estaba preparando para que la Enderpell caiga en la lava. Y entonces, por eso se puso en F5 y miró para arriba para poder ver su alrededor y saber por dónde subir. Pero en realidad no cayó en la lava, cayó en el Nether Fort, así que al pedo lo hizo.
It's almost like X-ray. It's not actually X-ray, but it's like, that's the best way I can describe it. And it's allowed, it's totally legal, and that's what I assume he was going for here. That's what I assume the situation was. And unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately, because he doesn't have to swim all the way up, but it makes this odd interaction happen on the fortress where he's in F5 mode, looking straight up, and it just doesn't really make sense if you don't understand that weird situation there. But he's just going to build up and hurl on top of the fortress now. Has food still, which is great. The buried treasure food is going to make his life incredibly easy. And you can hear some strays on the fortress. Great, we have strays. Insta-kill 4.
Mirá la vida que tiene, amigo. Tiene 5 corazones, se está jugando toda.
Blazes here before even getting to a spawner. 0 for 1 though on blaze rods, not great. 0 for 2, not great. See another blaze near the spawner. 0 for 3 though. Not...
Yo acá la estaría paniqueando, amigo. Si voy 3 minutos 42 y ya tengo las Enderpells y yo estoy por las varas de Blaze, la estaría paniqueando.
And you'll see that people are starting to join the chat. More on that later. You saw no one was really in the chat before, but you'll see as this run progresses, more people are going to start joining the chat here. And we're going to touch on that later in the run.
Claro, ahí está diciendo que va a empezar a entrar gente en el chat, que lo estoy tapando yo, pero está hablando gente acá en el chat.
Really cool thing if you want to stay on top of like top speedrun paces if you're really interested in this type of stuff. I'll show you how to do that. But for now, we're still in the fortress. We have TNT from the buried treasure, and we're going to use that to blow up the spawner, create more spawning space for the blazes. Has a little bit of a weird interaction here, but nothing too crazy. We're going to hit the blazes away from the TNT so the stuff
¿Para qué eso?
doesn't get blown up. Cool. This guy's a one-shot because you hit him earlier. Great. We have 5 rods. We were 0 for 3. Now we're 5 for 8. 5 straight.
Ok, ya está volviendo al overworld.
Build this portal. Beautiful portal build. You see that? Bum, bum, bum. Beautiful side build. And we have more blazes that just spawn.
Yo creo que el portal así lo hago más rápido
We
yo.
only have 5 rods, so we still have to try and get 6 here. This isn't going to be a situation like No Fear's world record where we're just leaving on 5. This pace is good enough where we're going to definitely kill those blazes and try and get 6. We're also going to do all this
Ok, acá hace los cálculos, supongo.
calculator stuff. If you're not
Sí.
familiar with this, what we're trying to do is we're trying to line up the right side of the middle alignment of the crosshair. We're trying to line the right side of that with the in-between section of these 2 pixels. It doesn't matter like vertically, just like these 2 pixels. I just show it here because this is where the color is the most obvious. This kind of a line is where
Acá hay una línea y vos tenés que apuntar justo acá para que los cálculos se puedan hacer. Y supuestamente haciendo eso podés sacar los cálculos de dónde está el overworld con unos cálculos matemáticos. Y bueno, en realidad acá no se usan cálculos matemáticos porque sería como muy lento todo, sino que se usa un programa que te calcula eso solo, básicamente.
we want to line it up. He's a little bit off.
Ahí está, ahí le sacaron los cálculos. Y hay 100% de probabilidades de que esté acá el portal.
3 C's to copy his location, but you can edit it in the calculator based on if you know exactly how many pixels you're off of, and most top runners know that. So he is 100% sure the stronghold is 821 blocks away, which is above
Ahora va a ir al Nether y va a ir a esas
average,
coordenadas.
really nice.
Sí.
And now we're leaving. We're ready to go.
Mirá toda la gente que entró en el chat del chabón
This
de
is
la
a
nada.
sub 5 overworld 2. We know where we're going. This is not unheard of pace, but it's incredibly fast. And now it's unheard of pace because we got the 6th rod and the terrain is beautiful. You can see we're going at 182, negative 250. You can't see the chords because of my face cam, but if I turn that off for a second, you can see we're basically there. We're at 174, negative 249.
Está nada de las coordenadas.
We're there. We're just at the chords already on 1 pearl throw. And the big decider in kind of all of these top speedruns for world record at this point are how good is your terrain going to second portal, how good is your terrain overall in the speedrun, and how good are your blazes.
Y apareció en el portal, obviamente. O sea, en
Really
el
fast
Stronghold.
blazes did not
Ahora tienen que encontrar el portal.
spend basically any
¿Cómo
time
hace?
in that fortress that wasn't just killing blazes. Now we're looking for preemptive. Let me rewind for a second here so I show you kind of what we're talking about here. We're loading into the stronghold. We're looking for a big orange spike again. We're in a different pie chart, but we're going to go to the one that we want to go to. This is the same one as the buried treasure. We're just using different numbers on the keypad to get to where we need to go. And we're looking for big orange spike. This is not a big...
Ah, que si hay un coso naranja grande es porque está ahí el portal. What?
orange spike. We want to see like at least half. We're going to see at least half on the big orange spike. Oh,
What the fuck, a mí eso no lo tenía.
spawner. Very nice. Heading here now.
Claro, porque hay un spawner ahí. El círculo ese, lo que marca es si hay un spawner, un mob, lo que sea. Y entonces, cuando hay más naranjas es porque hay un spawner para ese lado. Y en la Stronghold, o sea, el portal está justo donde está el spawner de Silverfish.
Looking for it. Very kind of wacky stronghold here with the cave and everything. But Drip,
Ahí va.
very confident in the preemptive. Knows exactly where they're going. Silverfish, kerfuffle, it's all fine.
No había ni
Also, by the
uno.
way, this is the fastest end enter pace ever. And more importantly, in the history of speedrunning, this is the fastest stronghold enter ever.
Ok, es la entrada más rápido al o sea, la entrada más rápida al end que se hizo en la historia de Minecraft. Y es la entrada más rápido al Stronghold que se hizo en Minecraft.
This is the fastest stronghold enter ever. It is beaten finally. 527 by Crooks was there for almost
6 minutos va.
2 years, but is finally beaten. This was a 522. Insane. Fastest end enter, as I said. We're going to use something called search crafting here. You might be wondering why this is in a different language. It's to make crafting
Ok,
like
las
this
camas y
easier
eso.
end of a run where you're very nervous, have nerves.
El hilo lo saca tradeando con los piglins, ¿no?
You can just type like 2 letters and you have everything you need. He's playing in Norwegian, if you're curious, and every runner kind of uses whatever's most comfortable to them. You can also notice we're not going for 0 cycle like No Fear's world record. It's a little bit risky here with 6 explosives, and this was a back dragon. Obviously, he didn't know that ahead of time. But if he was prepared to go to 0, this was a significantly harder 0 cycle than the one that No Fear got. No Fear's 0 cycle, not to discredit it in any way, was just like one of the easier setups. This would have been very, very hard. We can see the dragon's going across. He needs to get a perch, and he gets a very fast perch on the fastest end enter ever. That is incredibly lucky. This is about like a 10 to 15% chance. And
Bam.
he's one cycling. We're done. We're
Bam.
done with the run already.
Bam.
He is one cycling the dragon. He's
Bam.
gonna kill it. This is a 7:01 world record by Drip. Please go check Drip out. Unbelievably well played. Really well done to keep pressure under nerves. And the thing that I noticed as someone who does a lot of runs myself,
7 minutos 1. ¿Cómo se lo garchó al dragón
very, very
igual?
organized and very just confident in your own ability, doing what you need to do.
No se equivocó en nada. No se equivocó en nada. O sea, lo único que se equivocó, entre comillas, fue en cuando tiró la Enderpell a la Netherfort, que tipo se cayó un toque a la lava, pero ni siquiera, amigo. O sea, literalmente para superar este récord, no solo no te tenés que equivocar en nada, sino que tenés que tener suerte. O sea, la suerte que tuvo el chabón. O sea, es complicadísimo.